In sections 4.1, we talked about the definition of multiplication and 3 types of multiplication problems, or 3 types of word problems that can be solved by multiplication. The first type is called array word problem. The second one is called ordered pair. The third one is called multiplicative comparison. And so there's some important difference here. Array problem usually has rows, and every row has how many of something, or you have groups, and every group has a certain number of things. So, for example, we could come up with a say there are 4 rows of cans, and each row has 6 cans. So how many cans are there? So that way, 4 rows times 9 in each row. And also, we want to use the definition of multiplication to describe why this problem can be solved by multiplication. And again, you must use the definition, because the definition of multiplication says if we have the number of groups times certain number of groups times a number of units or objects in one group. So when we have this kind of word problems and we're solving for the total number of units, we can always use multiplication. So in this case, I have four rows, which means I have 4 groups. Each row, which means each group, has 9 cans. That's 9 objects. And how many objects are there? So that's the total number of objects. So we are solving, so 4 groups times 9 in each group equals the total number of objects. So that's why this array problem can be solved by multiplication. And the reason we call this array problem is because it looks like an array, because when you draw a graph, we have 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 4 rows. It looks like an array with rows and columns. So that's why we call this type of problem array problem. Now let's look at the second type, which is ordered pair. So the ordered pair problem, you must have you cannot say we have 4 rows, every row has, that's called an array problem. The ordered pair problem, usually you have to make a combination of 2 different things. For example, when you make a sandwich, you need bread and cheese. Or if you make a pizza, you could have maybe different toppings. Or you can make an outfit. In this case, I'm making an outfit which consists of a shirt and a pair of pants. So there are always 2 things involved. And we put them together. That's called ordered pair, and makes one outfit, or makes one sandwich, or makes one pizza. And so here 2 times 6, so I make 2 shirts, 6. I make 6 pairs of pants. So if she needs to choose 1 shirt and 1 pair of pants, so how many outcomes can she make? And so that can also be, this type of question can also be solved by multiplication 2 times 6. And again, the reason we call it ordered pair is because each outfit can be represented by shirt and pants. So that's an ordered pair. And so if we try to explain why this problem, so if it's an ordered pair, we don't really see the number of groups and how many in each group. It doesn't really fit the definition. But we can turn this problem into like an array. For example, if we list all the combinations, shirt 1, pants 1, shirt 1, pants 2, and all the way to shirt 1, pants 6, that's like the first row. And then shirt 2, pants 1, all the way through pants 6, and that's the second row. So now all the combinations or ordered pairs, they form an array. So you can see this is like first row, and this is the second row, and each row has 6 of them. So now this is turned into a array problem. Originally it's an ordered pair, but once we list all the answers, that looks like an array problem now. And so this we can see the number of groups will be the number of shirts we have. And so the number we can probably add a little bit here. So the first element is the number of shirts. The first element is the number of groups, because we have 2 shirts, that's two rows or 2 groups. And the second element is how many objects in each group, because we have 6 in each group, and 6 is exactly the number of shirts. So that is the definition of multiplication. So the total number of ordered pairs are 2 times 6. Okay, all right, so the second type, which is the ordered pair type. So make sure when you come up with an ordered pair type of problem, that has to be a combination of 2 things. Now last type is the multiplicative comparison. Now in this type, you must use the words like 4 times as many, 3 times as many. So that's called a multiplicative comparison type. So here, and usually we try to follow the order. So this question is 4 times 9. So when you come up with the word problem, you want to say 4 times as many as. So instead of saying 9 times as many as, that would be 9 times 4. So we want to be consistent with the problem, 4 times 9. So Rachel has, so if I use a drawing to describe it, Rachel has, so you start from the second number 9 pencils. You don't really have to divide it into 9 parts, because we just need a 1 box to represent the number of 9 pencils. And the Benny has 4 times as many. So we take this box and duplicate 4 times. So we have 9, 1 9, 2 9, 3 9, 4 9. So that's 4 times as many. How many pencils does Benny have? So apparently we have 4 nines. So 4 times 9. So by the definition, you can see that's 4 groups. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4 groups of 9 pencils in each group. Again, use the definition of multiplication.